Have you ever found yourself hesitating at the bottom of the stairs, wondering if you'll have the strength to climb them without stopping halfway? Or maybe you've noticed that the simple walk around the block feels, well, a bit too familiar. Same path, same pace, same achy knees at the end. You might even think that walking is the best exercise for someone our age, but surprisingly, doctors are now saying that after 65, we need a little more variety, especially when it comes to keeping our legs strong, our balance steady, and those everyday pains at bay. I know it sounds counterintuitive. We've been told for years that walking is the golden ticket, the easiest way to stay active. But as our bodies change, our joints and muscles need a bit more targeted work. Movements that build the precise strength and stability we rely on every time we stand up, reach into the cupboard, or step into the shower. In this video, I'm going to guide you through the first 2 of 5 simple doctor-recommended exercises that you can do right at home. These moves will help you stand tall, walk confidently, and ease the aches that might have crept into your daily routine. Let's start with something so basic it might feel surprising, but I promise you it works wonders. The sit to stand. You know that action you do dozens of times a day, rising from a chair? It's a foundational movement that uses all the major muscles in your legs and hips, yet over time we get lazy about it. We lean on our hands, slide forward in the seat, or use our arms too much. By practicing a more deliberate sit to stand, you'll reignite the power in your thighs and glutes, making every standing motion, whether you're in the kitchen, the living room, or outside, feel stronger and more controlled. Here's how you do it. Start seated on a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Sit tall with your weight in your heels and your hands gently resting on your thighs. Next, lean your chest forward slightly, tighten your core, and push through those heels to stand up fully. No using your hands if you can help it. Keep your knees aligned over your toes and pause for a moment at the top, noticing how your legs carry you. Then, slowly sit back down, controlling the descent rather than plopping. Aim for 10 repetitions or as many as feels comfortable, resting in between if you need to. I remember my friend Doris telling me how she dreaded getting up from the sofa, especially after binge-watching her favorite show. She felt like she always had to brace herself, sometimes even using her arms to hoist her up. After incorporating sit-to-stands into her morning routine, right after her cup of coffee, she found that rising felt almost effortless within a week. Not only did her knees stop barking at her, but she also felt more confident handling heavier grocery bags or stepping over small curbs. Now, while the sit-to-stand targets the big muscle groups, our second exercise zeroes in on those muscles lower in the leg that are crucial for balance and preventing falls. The heel raise. You might have tried something like this without realizing it, standing on your toes to stretch, but doing heel raises with intention, using a support at first, can strengthen your calves and improve ankle stability, which in turn helps you stay steady on uneven ground or when you reach for something on a high shelf. Here's the simple version. Stand behind a chair or next to a countertop, placing one hand lightly on it for support. Keep your feet hip-width apart with a slight bend in the knees. Slowly lift both heels off the ground, rising onto the balls of your feet. Hold that position for a count of 2, feeling the squeeze in your calf muscles. Then lower your heels back down with control. Don't just drop. Repeat this lift and lower motion 10 to 15 times. If you feel steady, you can try doing it without holding on, or even unilaterally, lifting one heel at a time for an added challenge. My neighbor Bob, an avid gardener, told me how he used to finish his morning planting and feel a dull ache in his calves. He thought it was part of being out in the yard all day. But after a few sessions of heel raises while brushing his teeth in the morning, he noticed that his legs felt springier and less prone to fatigue. By the time planting season rolled around again, he was bending and stooping without those nagging twinges in his lower legs. The beauty of these 2 exercises is that they mirror everyday movements, standing up from a chair and pushing up onto your toes, so the strength you build transfers directly into your life. You're not just working out, you're reinforcing the very actions that help you move safely and comfortably. Now, having warmed up those large muscles and steadied your ankles, you've laid a strong foundation. In the next part, we'll pick up right here and introduce 2 more exercises designed to challenge your core stability and enhance your hip mobility. Moves that will further boost your balance and ease joint stress. Together, these 5 exercises form a complete routine to replace aimless walking with intentional, targeted strength building that doctors agree is more effective after 65. Let's continue on and explore the next steps. Now that you've reignited the power in your thighs and glutes with deliberate sit-to-stands and strengthened your calves and ankles with intentional heel raises, it's time to build on that foundation by challenging the muscles that keep you steady from side to side and protect your lower back. These next 2 exercises sharpen your balance and improve your hip mobility, key ingredients for walking confidently across uneven ground, getting in and out of the car, or stepping over a curb without a second thought. Let's begin with a move you can do right next to your kitchen counter or sturdy chair: the side leg raise. This simple exercise targets the muscles along the outside of your hip, your gluteus medius and minimus, which act like stabilizers for your pelvis when you stand on one foot. When these muscles are strong, you're less likely to sway or wobble, and you protect your lower back from overcompensating. To try it, stand tall, holding the back of a chair with one hand for light support. Shift your weight onto your left leg, keeping your knees soft. Then, without tilting your torso, lift your right leg straight out to the side, no higher than hip height, keeping your foot flexed so your toes point forward. Pause for a moment at the top, feeling that steady burn on the side of your hip, and then lower with control. Aim for 10 raises on each side, resting as needed in between. You'll know you're doing it right when you can feel the work in those side hip muscles, and you can almost hear them whisper, "Thanks for the challenge." My friend Teresa, who used to feel a bit shaky when carrying laundry up and down the stairs, told me she started adding side leg raises to her TV watching routine, 2 sets of 10 per side during commercials. Within a few weeks, she noticed she could carry baskets of clothes without bracing herself on the railing, and she even rediscovered the confidence to stand on one foot to water her hanging plants without gripping the pot for dear life. Next, let's turn our attention to the muscles that knit your lower back, hips, and shoulders together: your core stabilizers. A strong, stable core keeps your spine happy, eases pressure on your hips, and ensures that when you reach or bend, your back stays supported. The exercise I want to share is often called the bird dog. It sounds fancy, but it's wonderfully straightforward. Kneel on all fours on a mat or soft surface with your hands under your shoulders and knees under your hips. Engage your core by pulling your navel gently toward your spine. Then extend your right arm forward and your left leg straight back, creating a single line from your fingertips to your toes. Keep both parallel to the floor, resisting the urge to let your back sag or your hips twist. Pause for 2 slow counts, feeling the muscles along your spine and the back of your lifted leg working together. Lower and switch sides, left arm and right leg, completing 10 reps per side. When my neighbor Jim, who once avoided bending over to tie his shoes for fear of a back twinge, tried the bird dog twice a week, he was amazed at how much more resilient his core felt. After a few sessions, he found himself leaning in to pick up packets of seeds in the garden without wincing, and even reaching overhead in the pantry felt sturdier. By now, you've activated the powerhouse of your lower body with sit-to-stands and heel raises, sharpened your hip stability with side leg raises, and fortified your core with the bird dog. These first 4 exercises complement each other beautifully. They train the large muscle groups that propel you, the stabilizers that keep you steady, and the core that holds you upright with ease. As you weave these moves into your routine, perhaps doing them in sequence every other day, you'll notice your legs feeling more supportive and your balance more confident. But we're not done yet. In the next part, we'll explore the final pair of exercises that focus on gentle spinal mobility and ankle flexibility, 2 areas that often get overlooked but can make all the difference in preventing pain and preventing falls. Let's keep this momentum going and discover how to complete your doctor-recommended routine for strength, balance, and pain relief. You've already strengthened your thighs and glutes with deliberate sit-to-stands, calmed your calves and ankles with heel raises, honed your hip stabilizers through side leg lifts, and fortified your core with the bird dog. Those 4 moves give you a powerful foundation for strength and balance. But there's one more key exercise that pulls it all together, adding dynamic mobility and coordination so your body can move with confidence and without pain, whether you're stepping off a curb or reaching for the top shelf. Imagine standing tall in your living room, feeling steady on your feet, and then lifting one knee up toward your chest before gently lowering it and switching sides. That simple marching in place motion done with focus is our 5th and final exercise. It may sound basic, but it works wonders. When you march in place, you activate every major muscle in your legs and hips, challenge your balance, and improve your ankle flexibility. Best of all, it's entirely weight-bearing, which means it helps maintain bone density, a crucial element for preventing fractures as we age. Here's how to do it with intention. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, arms relaxed at your sides. Engage your core by gently drawing your belly button inward. Next, lift your right knee to about hip height, keeping your toes pointed down so your shin is vertical. Pause for a count of 2, feeling the stability in your supporting left leg and the pull in the hip flexors of the right. Then lower your right foot and immediately lift your left knee in the same way. Continue alternating knees for 10 to 20 repetitions on each side, or march for 30 seconds if that feels easier. Keep your torso upright, no leaning back, and imagine reaching your knee toward an invisible waistband at chest level. When my friend Eleanor first tried this, she was surprised at how wobbly her first few marches felt. She'd been a ballroom dancer in her 30s, but years of desk work had dulled her coordination. Yet within a week of weaving marching into her morning coffee ritual, just 2 sets of 30 seconds each, she noticed her steps felt smoother, and she could step up onto the curb without gripping the rail. Marching improved her ankle flexibility, which meant less strain on her knees and hips when she walked around the block. To make marching even more effective, add a gentle arm swing. As you lift your right knee, reach your left arm forward at shoulder height as if you're greeting someone across the street. Then switch, left knee, right arm. That cross-body motion engages your upper back and helps reinforce the neural pathways that coordinate left and right sides of your body. It's like giving your brain a mini workout as well as your muscles, boosting circulation, balance, and the mind-body connection. If standing 6 marches at a time feels too much at first, start with smaller lifts. Just bring your knee a few inches off the ground, or hold onto the back of a chair lightly for extra confidence. As your strength and balance improve, you'll find yourself aiming higher and marching longer, all with less effort and more stability. Now, as you've worked through these 5 doctor-recommended moves, sit to stands, heel raises, side leg lifts, bird dogs, and intentional marching, you have a complete routine that targets every angle of leg strength, balance, and pain relief. You're training the muscle power needed to rise from any chair, the calf and ankle strength to absorb each step, the hip stability to keep your pelvis level, the core strength to protect your spine, and the dynamic mobility to coordinate every motion smoothly. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to bring these exercises into your everyday life. You don't need a gym membership or special equipment, just a sturdy chair, a bit of floor space, and a few minutes a day. Consider tying your exercises to daily rituals. Do sit to stands before your morning coffee, heel raises while you wait for the kettle, side leg lifts during your favorite TV show, bird dogs before you make lunch, and marching after dinner. That way, these moves become as habitual as brushing your teeth. Over time, you'll notice simple joys return, climbing stairs without pausing, reaching into high cabinets without a twinge, stepping off the sidewalk without wobbling, and standing at the sink with ease. Even pain that once nagged at your hips or knees can ease, because you're distributing force more evenly through strong coordinated muscles. If you've tried these exercises and felt the difference, share your story in the comments below. Maybe you'll inspire someone else to swap endless walking for this balanced routine, and rediscover confidence in every step. And if this video helped you see a clearer path to leg strength and balance, please hit the like button, subscribe for more practical health tips, and tap the bell so you never miss a workout designed just for you. Remember, our bodies are built to move in many ways, not just to walk. By embracing this variety, standing up and down, lifting heels, reaching legs to the side, stabilizing the core, and marching with purpose, you're giving yourself the gift of strength, stability, and less pain. You deserve to move freely and enjoy life's moments, one confident, pain-free step at a time. Here's to living strong, balanced, and vibrant, no matter your age. Have you ever felt like your legs just aren't what they used to be? Stiff when you get out of bed, wobbly when you reach for something on the top shelf, or achy after what used to be a gentle stroll around the block? It's tempting to lace up your walking shoes and head out the door, thinking that more miles will solve the problem. But after 65, doctors are discovering that walking alone isn't enough to build the specific strength and balance our bodies need. Instead, they're recommending a handful of simple exercises that target the muscles and joints responsible for steadiness, mobility, and pain relief, moves you can do right at home without any fancy equipment. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the first 2 of 5 doctor-approved exercises designed to replace endless walking with targeted routines that boost your leg strength, sharpen your balance, and ease those everyday aches. You'll learn how to stand up from a chair with confidence, and how to awaken the muscles in your calves and ankles so you can step onto curbs, climb stairs, or simply stand in the kitchen without wincing. These moves will help you feel more stable on your feet and less reliant on anything that might trip you up. Let's begin with a movement that you already do dozens of times a day, rising from a chair, but in a way that maximizes your leg power and reduces strain on your knees. I'm talking about the deliberate sit to stand. When we're younger, we might stand up without even thinking, but over the years it's easy to start leaning on our arms or sliding forward in the seat, which takes the load off our leg muscles and puts it where it doesn't belong. By practicing a focused sit to stand, you'll rebuild the strength in your thighs and glutes, the powerhouse muscles that carry you through every step of your day. To do this exercise, find a sturdy chair without wheels, something that won't slide, and sit with your feet planted firmly on the floor about hip-width apart. Let your knees form a gentle V and keep your weight in your heels. Rest your hands lightly on your thighs, no gripping the armrests just yet. Take a moment to sit tall, drawing your belly button toward your spine to engage your core. When you're ready, lean your chest forward slightly and press through your heels, allowing your legs to power you upward until you're fully standing. Resist the urge to snap back or lock your knees. Simply stand tall, feeling the firm support of your leg muscles. Pause for a moment at the top, and then lower yourself back down slowly, controlling the descent so you're not just plopping back into the chair. Aim for 10 repetitions, resting for 30 seconds if you need to, and repeat for 2 or 3 sets. You'll know you're doing it right when you can feel the burn in your thighs and the gentle engagement in your glutes. My friend Marjorie, who used to dread getting out of her recliner after an afternoon of reading, told me she started fitting 10 sit-to-stands into her morning routine. Right after her coffee, within a week she found she could stand up without using her hands, and even bending down to tie her shoes felt more secure. Now that we've awakened those big muscle groups, let's shift focus down a bit to the lower legs, because without strong calves and flexible ankles, every step can feel wobbly. The next exercise is the heel raise, and it's incredibly simple yet surprisingly impactful. Heel raises strengthen the calf muscles, the gastrocnemius and soleus, and improve ankle mobility, which helps absorb each footfall and stabilizes you on uneven ground. Stand behind the same sturdy chair you used before, placing both hands gently on its back for balance. Keep your feet hip-width apart and your knees slightly bent. From here, lift both heels off the ground, rising onto the balls of your feet. Hold that raised position for a count of 2, feeling the squeeze in your calves, and then lower your heels back down with control, resisting gravity rather than simply dropping. That's 1 repetition. Try to do 10 to 15 heel raises in a row, then rest for a minute and repeat for another set. If you feel confident, you can progress to lifting 1 heel at a time, standing on 1 foot while raising the opposite heel, to further challenge your balance. My neighbor Sam, a former postal worker, started doing heel raises while waiting for the kettle to boil in the morning. He was surprised to feel his calves wake up in a way they hadn't in years. Within a month, he noticed fewer aches after his early morning dog walks, and discovered an unexpected spring in his step. Between your morning coffee and your first shower, you now have 2 powerful exercises: sit-to-stands to build thigh and glute strength, and heel raises to fortify calves and ankles, that work directly to make your legs stronger, your joints more flexible, and your balance more reliable. Instead of logging endless miles and hoping for the best, you're honing in on the exact muscles and motions that support everyday movement and protect you from slips, trips, and strains. We're just getting started. In the next segment, we'll build on these first 2 moves with exercises that hone your hip stability and core strength. Because a steady pelvis and a supportive midsection are the unsung heroes of confident, pain-free movement. Stick around, and let's continue this journey toward stronger, more balanced legs together.